Welcome everybody. Welcome here tonight to, as you can see on the slide there, it's our birthday today or thereabouts, 4 years the Charter's been going. So it's great to have you all here tonight to celebrate that. And celebrating that with us tonight, we have two guest speakers. We have Nicole Rosie, WorkSafe's CEO, and Richard Wagstaff, President of the CTU. So welcome to both our guest speakers tonight. Okay, there's just a bit of a rundown on what we're going to cover this evening. I will give you some updates on the Charter activity. By the way, my name's Rob Sloan from Enterprise Homes, and I sit on the Charter Steering Group. And I'm replacing Graham tonight, who's away on other business. Then we'll congratulate our new Charter champion and welcome some new signatories. Tony Gallagher, the General Manager of Fulton Hogan Civil, will do that. And then after that, we'll have our two guest speakers with Nicole and Richard speaking on their different topics. So thanks everybody for coming this evening. We're looking forward to the next hour ahead. One thing we'd like to do tonight is to thank WorkSafe and EQC for sponsoring the event. These events do take a bit of money to put on, and we'd like to thank those organisations and all the others that have sponsored us over the last 4 years. So thanks tonight to WorkSafe and EQC. But we're going to start tonight with some very, very excellent news. Some of you may have heard that we were winners, the Charter itself. This award here is the category award that the Charter was nominated for in the Workplace Safety Awards. And this was the Leadership Award, which we won. And we were really, really chuffed to get presented this and win this award. And this was one award out of 12 different categories. And through the course of the night, there was some amazing category entrants and winners. And at the end of the night, the Supreme Award is given out to one of those 12 categories, which brilliantly for us was that one there. So the Charter won the Supreme Award, and that was about having the biggest impact and influence on health and safety in New Zealand. Not just in construction, not just in Canterbury, but across New Zealand. So this is your award. You have won this by becoming Charter signatories, by living those 10 commitments, and by publicly showing your own leadership in health and safety. So well done you. That's excellent. And look, there's just a few comments I've got here on my notes there. There was a chap at the awards, Rob Jager, and he made a comment about there is little to celebrate over the lives of saved and the harm prevented. But he suggests tonight that we take a moment to reflect on how the efforts of those in the room and others have meant that more people involved in the rebuild have gone home each night thanks to our collective work. And that's yours. So thank you again. Awesome. Right. Tonight we also just want to recognise Safe Rebuild. Safe Rebuild is an organisation many of you will know. Some of you will have training through Safe Rebuild, some of your employees would have. Some of you are here because Safe Rebuild have pointed you in our direction. And in August this year, it will be closing after 5 years of supporting construction-related SMEs in Canterbury with their training and wider on-site support. Safe Rebuild and the Charter have been very close for some time. Safe Rebuild's training is based around the Charter, and many Charter members first came to the Charter from Safe Rebuild. Our Charter officer, Libby Carr, works closely with the Safe Rebuild team. For example, last month, Libby and the Safe Rebuild team were up in Kaikoura supporting the North Canterbury rebuild. In 2014, Safe Rebuild received the Safeguard Best Initiative to encourage engagement in health and safety. And this year, they were finalists with the Charter for the Safeguard Best collaboration with PCBUs for the excellent women in construction events that were organised. 2 events and heavily subscribed. So we want to acknowledge tonight Safe Rebuild and the work they've done and the contribution and the legacy they've left behind to safety and construction in Canterbury. So to Andre, Joe, Steve, Jay, Alex, Jen, Leon, Christine and Bernard and all the others, thank you for what you've done. It's well-deserved recognition. Just a few updates on the Charter and what we've been doing. Just on our levies, we want to thank you all for the levies this year. We do get really, really solid funding from ACC and from WorkSafe in particular, but your levies are also very, very important to keep doing what we do. So thank you for those, and we need more members, so we get more levies to keep putting on these events. Remember, we're a not-for-profit organisation. We're here to add some value back to you, our industry. This is the second year we have had levies, and again, we've collected just over the 100K we needed for the year. These levies are a crucial part of how we fund the Charter, and without them we wouldn't be able to do half the work that we do. So a special thanks to WorkSafe, as I've mentioned, key funder and ACC. Other Charter resources that we don't see that are funded by them include the Charter assessment tools, the other part of the Charter officer costs that are up there, and the members survey, and of course the monthly newsletter. So that funding keeps coming to us to keep those key elements going in the Charter. This year we've just completed a 2017 members Charter survey. That's been done by Research First. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. Excellent. And they presented to the steering group earlier today on those results, and those results are being collated to be presented. There's a few key points there that have come out of that, and firstly we'd like to thank you, those that completed the survey. It was much appreciated. Half of the respondents, 52%, have stated that they've changed their practice based on information in their interaction with the Charter. So that was awesome to get that kind of feedback, to know that what we're doing is having an influence on you, our signatories. The Charter's NPS score, the Net Promoter Score, do people know what that is? No? Some of you will probably have seen this. The Net Promoter Score is about people endorsing us and what we do, and it's very hard to get a positive score. It's very easy to get a negative score. So our score is up from 6 to 9 in 2015. Doesn't seem like a big jump, but in New Zealand, if you get a Net Promoter Score that's kind of around that 10 mark, that shows you're really doing very, very well. In America, they get about 50 because they're right into it. But for us humble Kiwis, getting a 10's pretty good. So that was a good result for us. And our membership has almost doubled since the last 2015 survey, so we're getting a much, much better accurate reading in the results. So that's good and very pleasing. The final report will be on the website soon, so you'll be able to go in there and have a look at it. And the good thing about this survey, it helps inform our work program for the coming year, because we need this feedback. We need to hear from you on what we're doing well and what we're not doing well and what's relevant and what is and isn't. So again, thanks for that feedback. It's very, very important. Just some highlights looking back on the year. Our year runs from July to June. And so I've listed all there's different bullets up there. I'm not going to go into every one, but it's a good reminder on what we've done. Some of the standouts there are specifically the women in construction events. There was 2 of these. They were oversubscribed, and the feedback from those people that have been there has been awesome. They want more of them. And we've also taken that feedback into the Charter, and we'll be sharing that feedback with you on what's come out of those events. And there's some really good learnings and understanding there for all of us to be taken. So we really appreciated how interactive those events were. The Charter orientations and the workshops that we're having, that Libby's running, we've had outstanding feedback to those. So if you're inviting someone to join the Charter and whatnot, we do have these orientation sessions that will help people understand it more and understand what's available there in the Charter. Done a lot of work in the last few months. The working group has, Ian and the team there, on the Charter values, and these values have been launched today on the website. It's been a key piece of work for the working group. These 4 values underpin what the Charter is all about. They not only inform our Charter work program, they make it clear to potential signatories and current ones what the Charter is about. And hopefully they'll identify with the values that you have and why you want to join the Charter. They're pretty simple, but we feel they're very, very close to home and pretty accurate. So we'd love your feedback on there. The website has now got 9 posters around these values. They're excellent posters, and you can download those and print those. You can also order them through the Charter to be in core flute, and you can submit your logo and put your own company logo on those values posters and spread them around your workplace. They've got people in them. We like to see people, and they're bright and colourful, and they'll stand out in your sites and in your businesses. So please have a crack at getting some of those up. Our current focus this year in the Charter is to make sure that we're talking to our SMEs. 60% of what we do is done by SMEs in this industry across the country. So it's the group we need to speak to. And for us, the new Charter signatories that we're building, these groups are really well represented. So we really need the encouragement to bring your peers and colleagues along. The tools that we're developing are supported in the workshops. A lot of you would have done the assessment tool, and which had about 100 questions. We've now refined that down to 16 key questions and findings and learnings. So we're trying to make things a bit bit LITE, a bit more light and easy and user-friendly, and that work's going on at the moment, and it's really, really good in what's coming along. Two other key areas that the Charter needs to develop more support for is the health and safety reps. There is now a Charter health and safety reps group, and they've just had their first formal meeting last week, and it was well represented, and there's some really good initiatives coming out of that. So if you have health and safety reps within your business that want to reach out and have a more of a touchstone, give us a yodel and we'll put them in touch with this specific group. Tomorrow we've got our first group meeting for professional services. So for our architects and engineers and surveyors, they're now forming a working group within the Charter to look at what they can do and how they can contribute and how we can work in what's required upstream and downstream and those type of things. So that's quite exciting, and there's a lot more discussion and intent to develop tools around the Charter to help those groups as well. Okay, so this takes us to the next stage. I'm going to invite the General Manager of Fulton Hogan, Tony Gallagher, to come up and introduce our new Health and Safety Champion, and then after that Tony will also continue on and introduce our new signatories. So I'll leave it. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Rob. This is a great part to be involved in. This is a bit where we welcome our new members and celebrate our safety champions. So it's a real privilege to get to do this part. This is the fun part. So first of all, our new chartered champion, if I can do that first. We have just the one tonight, but I'd like to call Erin Tennant up, please. Erin, are you there? Let's give Erin a hand. This is the bit I get to embarrass you, Erin. I need to put on my glasses for this part here as well. So Erin is a project director from Otokaro. He was nominated by his health and safety manager for his outstanding contribution to health and safety within the organisation. So congratulations, Erin. Erin has worked towards building a site safety culture amongst his team, and as well as the contractors engaged by Otokaro at his site at the Metro Sports facility. Erin, through his leadership, challenges the status quo and gets his contractors to rethink the way in which they do things. Some feedback recently by a contractor was that the project is the first time they have seen a risk assessment at the workface. Recent feedback from other contractors include that they have now bolstered their HSE processes. They appreciate the potential versus the actual risk focus and have rethought how they approach their work. This was the first project where they felt they were held accountable for their tendered health and safety documentation, and they did see that as a positive. He is raising the standards across his team, his peers with Otokaro, and also the contracting companies which he has an influence over. He is dedicated to the pursuit of everyone having a right to go home safely, and as a result of positively changing the way our contractors do business. He is a real driver of HSE change across the rebuild. Erin is a true health and safety champion. Did you write this, Erin? It's very well written. So I would like to welcome up, we'll do a formal welcome in a minute, but I would like to welcome up Nicole Rosie, who is the CEO of WorkSafe, to present to Erin. So if you could come up, please, Nicole. Pose for the nice photograph. Is it?
Well done, you sound very physical. Thank you. Congratulations. You put this this way.
A round of applause. Thank you, Erin. So we now have 25 health and safety champions, and again, as I said, the challenge is really out to us all there to recognise those good people within our respective businesses. Next part is the new signatories, and because I've got the podium, I get to do it my way, which is great. So, as I say, we've got just over 320 signatories now, which is rather impressive, and another 50 endorsees. It's a great demonstration of just how we're going and how the momentum has not stopped. That's 4 years. When we just started, we only had 50. Can I please call, and this is what I'm going to do it my way, so we don't come up like we normally do, sign, clap, and off. So maybe just get, we'll get 5 here tonight. If I can get the 5, hopefully we'll get the 5 here in the audience. to come on up here and stand and take some applause from your audience. So keep the applause. I've got all 5 up here, please. So first up, can we have Craig Harkness, and Craig's from Mainland Brick and Block. Are you here tonight, Craig? Come on up here, Craig. You're going to have to wave to everybody in a minute. And then we've got Hampton Jones, and that's represented by Simon O'Brien tonight. You here, Simon? Well done, Simon. You didn't get as much applause, mate.
I know.
See,
Even guys didn't even applaud.
keep your applause to the end. Hang on. We're okay. Metalworks Limited. That's David Buckland. Come up, David. We'll keep your applause to the end, so don't feel please don't feel like nobody loves you. Yep. You're amongst friends here. NC Hire, Edward Bassett. You here, Edward? You just being shy? No? And McBride Construction, that's Carol McBride. Up, Carol. Okay, I'll just run through them very quickly. Again, we've got Mainland Brick and Block, Craig Harkness, give us a wave. There we go, right. Hampton Jones, Simon O'Brien. Hey. We've got Metalworks, we've got David Buckland, and McBride Construction, Carol McBride. Well done.